It's about jobs, jobs, jobs. The new jobs report, a hot topic on the campaign trail. Governor Mitt Romney focusing on the slight uptick in unemployment while President Obama is highlighting the number of new jobs created. Both men saying the latest numbers back up their differing stances on this economy. Take a listen.
We're not going to get to where we need to be if we go back to the policies that helped to create this mess in the first place. And the last thing that we should be doing is asking middle-class families who are still struggling to recover from this recession to pay more in taxes.
Today we just got a new number from the unemployment report, and it's another hammer blow to the struggling middle-class families of America, because the president has not had policies that put American families back to work. I'll put them in place and get America working again.
All right, so that begs the question, was there really a winner in the jobs report? And what will be the impact come November? Shira Toeplitz is a staff writer at Roll Call. And Shira, thanks for joining us this afternoon to share your perspective on this. You know, I'm looking at these numbers once again, and the numbers are mixed and the reaction is mixed. President Obama, of course, acknowledging more work needs to be done, but he adds that his administration has added 4.5 million new jobs over the course of his career as president. Meantime, Governor Mitt Romney says the Obama economic plan, as we've seen, is hammering the middle class, and he goes on to say it's hurting the American people. So how do you think American voters will respond to these two candidates in November?
I think in general, voters really look at the unemployment rate, that 8.3% number, when they think about the job situation in this country, the unemployment rate. Yes, the country added more jobs, and obviously that helps the president's argument, but the more salient number really is that unemployment rate. And frankly, it's much easier to stick in a campaign ad, and I'm sure Mitt Romney and the Republican National Committee are going to do just that.
And arguably, the unemployment rate could be as high as 11% for the nation, and certainly 15 or 16% for Hispanics and African Americans. Now, the bottom line, though, Shira, here is, of course, a working America equals a growing America. And at this current 8.3 unemployment rate, it's not a sign that our economy is turning anything around. So there's a great deal of uncertainty that's out there among employers, employees, and those who are seeking jobs. How will these factors affect President Obama, who has said if he's not doing the right job, people will get rid of him?
Yeah, that's not good for President Obama. There's no question. I don't think anyone is watching these jobs numbers as closely as the guys down the street in the White House every month or so when they're about to come out. It's not good. If the economy does not get better, it doesn't bode well for the president's re-election chances at all. But I will caution that there will be a certain fatigue, a misery fatigue after a while. I think voters can only consume so many gloom and doom. The economy is in a terrible position, and seeing those ads on their television screen. I think there's a limit to that. So eventually, if this continues, I think voters will want to hear a little bit more from Governor Romney about his plans to add jobs back into this country.
So let me get this straight then. You talked about a fatigue. Will that bode well for the president if people are getting growing fatigue? I mean, will it, of course, he's still doing well in battleground states, and how can he keep that narrow lead over Governor Romney?
I think it will benefit the president somewhat, but basically it will depress turnout. When voters see a lot of negative advertising, especially female voters, and a lot of this kind of pessimistic advertising that we've seen on television, they don't show up to the polls at all. They say, I don't want any part of it. So in general, it will decrease participation. All
right, let me ask you, what does Governor Romney need to do? You talked about the fatigue factor. So what does he need to do to alleviate that fatigue factor and talk about his strong stand on the economy and what his plan moving forward will look like?
I think after Labor Day, he will probably continue to harp on these job numbers, the unemployment situation, but he should probably, and his advisors are probably going to recommend to come out and include a few more specifics about how he would turn the country's economic situation around.
And real quickly before I let you go, let's talk about Governor Romney and how he has to respond to the attacks from the Obama campaign, because it continues to go on. Even Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid jumping into it with firing the latest attack. Here's what he said. From the Senate floor, he says, today the most secretive presidential candidate since Richard Nixon is coming to Nevada asking to be elected president. Forget about president. Mitt Romney couldn't get confirmed as a cabinet secretary. And then adding, in short, Romney's message to Nevadans is this: he won't release his taxes, but he wants to raise yours. What do you make of these kinds of attacks on the governor, and will the governor be able to turn that around? How does he have to go on the offensive?
Well, Harry Reid is referring to the governor's unwillingness to release more than, I think, a year or two of his tax returns. And traditionally, presidential candidates, they are not required by law to release much more than that, but they do have released more tax returns than just the last couple years. So politically, I think this is a lingering issue for Governor Romney. I don't think he will eventually release his tax returns, but it's a lingering problem for him on the campaign trail. And if people like Harry Reid, top-level political officials keep bringing it up, it will continue to be an issue for him.
Well, he addressed that issue by telling the senator, put up or shut up. With that, we'll end this for now. Shira Toeplitz, and we'll continue to follow what's happening on the campaign trail. Thank you.